Genesis 29. Jacob's arrival and marriage. Jacob arrives in Paddan Aram. Jacob continued his journey and came to the land of the eastern peoples. There, in an open field, he saw a well with 3 flocks of sheep lying nearby, waiting to be watered. A large stone covered the mouth of the well. It was the custom that when all the flocks were gathered, the shepherds would roll the stone away, water the sheep, and then return the stone to its place. Jacob approached the shepherds and asked, "My brothers, where are you from?" "We are from Haran," they answered. Jacob asked, "Do you know Laban, the grandson of Nahor?" "Yes, we do," they replied. "Is he well?" Jacob asked. "Yes, he is," they said. "And look, here comes his daughter Rachel with the sheep." Jacob said, "It's still broad daylight, too early to bring the flocks in. Water the sheep and take them back to pasture." But they replied, "We can't until all the flocks have arrived and the stone is rolled away from the well. Then we water the sheep." While Jacob was still speaking with them, Rachel arrived with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. Seeing Rachel, the daughter of his uncle Laban, Jacob went to the well, rolled the stone away, and watered his uncle's sheep. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and wept aloud. He told her that he was Rebekah's son, a relative of her father. Rachel ran home to tell her father. When Laban heard the news about Jacob, his sister's son, he hurried to meet him. He embraced and kissed him, then brought him to his home. There, Jacob told Laban everything. Laban said, "You are truly my own flesh and blood." Jacob marries Leah and Rachel. Jacob stayed with Laban for a month. Then Laban said, "Just because you're my relative, should you work for me without pay? Tell me, what should your wages be?" Now, Laban had 2 daughters. The older was Leah, and the younger was Rachel. Leah had delicate eyes, but Rachel was beautiful in form and appearance. Jacob was in love with Rachel, so he said, "I will work for you 7 years in exchange for your younger daughter, Rachel." Laban agreed, saying, "It is better that I give her to you than to another man. Stay and work for me." So Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, but because of his love for her, they seemed like only a few days. When the time was completed, Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife, for my time of service is done, and I wish to be with her." Laban invited all the people of the area and held a great wedding feast. But that evening, he took his daughter Leah and gave her to Jacob, and Jacob consummated the marriage with her. Laban also gave his servant Zilpah to Leah as her maidservant. When morning came, Jacob realized it was Leah. He said to Laban, "What have you done to me? I worked for you to marry Rachel. Why have you deceived me?" Laban replied, "It is not our custom to give the younger daughter in marriage before the older one. Complete this bridal week with Leah, and then we will give you Rachel as well, if you work for me another 7 years." Jacob agreed. He completed the week with Leah, and then Laban gave him Rachel as his wife. Laban also gave Rachel his servant Bilhah as her maidservant. Jacob consummated his marriage with Rachel as well, and he loved her more than Leah. He worked for Laban another 7 years. Jacob's children. When the Lord saw that Leah was unloved, he enabled her to conceive, but Rachel remained childless. Leah gave birth to a son and named him Reuben, saying, "The Lord has seen my affliction. Now my husband will love me." She conceived again and bore another son. She said, "Because the Lord heard that I am unloved, he has given me this son also." She named him Simeon. Again, she conceived and gave birth to a son, saying, "Now at last my husband will become attached to me, because I have borne him 3 sons." So she named him Levi. She conceived once more and gave birth to a son, saying, "This time I will praise the Lord." So she named him Judah. Then she stopped having children.